Alright, boys. I think we're good when it comes to the contract. I just gotta accept the report. And then we can do our next big mission, which I haven't seen any of before. It's probably the only part of the game that hasn't been completely spoiled for me. Here we go. Alright, Josephine. Josephine.
Any news on the House of Repose?
Yes.
What's the next favor we need to get these Duparakets a lordship?
We must persuade Minister Belize to ratify. The minister will be at a small fete thrown by the Marquis Wiscott. I'll get you an invitation.
Let's go. I also significantly improved everyone's armor so that it's a lot better now. There's Mom.
Thank you for seeing me in private, Minister Belize.
I chastise you for taking me from the party, Inquisitor, but the Marquis throws such dull affairs. It's hardly worth it. I assume you wish to discuss your petition to elevate these Duparakets to a minor lordship. Tell me, why should I allow you to pollute the Orlesian nobility any further than it's already been muddled?
The Duparakets used to be noble. You'd be restoring an old house of Orlais.
Restoring it far too late. What are the Duparakets now? Traders? Farmers? Really, it is too much. The very thought causes me pain. What can you possibly provide that will make your petition worth my effort?
Diplomatic connections that reach far beyond the boundaries of Val Royeaux, perhaps?
I might make use of your ambassador. The Montiliers aren't what they were, but at least they're from proper stock. Arrange for me to be introduced to the court of Antiva. I hear winter is most pleasant by their sea. Very well, Inquisitor. Should you fulfill this bargain, I shall raise the Duparakets into lordship.
Well, that was easy enough. I hope. I hope I didn't mess up.
Inquisitor. I must return to Val Royeaux to see that everything is in order. Please join me when you can.
I was just there. But I was just there. Where I'm going now. That they're sending me back to. My ambassadors. Unacceptable. Josephine.
I received a letter from the House of Repose, Your Worship. They acknowledge their contract is null and void. There is no longer a price on my life.
I'm glad you don't have to live your life looking over your shoulder anymore.
I regret we were forced to deal with them. That you were endangered by my part in the game. Did I ever mention I used to be a bard?
What?
You were a singer.
Bards entertain the Orlesian court. They sing, play music, make charming conversation, and spy.
I can see that.
Many young nobles put on a mask and practice playing the game in such a fashion.
What made you interested in becoming a bard?
I was attending a university in Valroyo when I learned about bards. There was such an air of romance about them. Stories of secrets, trysts, and fascinating people. A group of us, young gentry from Antipa, decided this exciting life was for us.
I don't imagine many firstborn heirs join those ranks.
No, I was a rather foolish exception. During one particular intrigue, I encountered a bard sent to kill my patron. We fought. Or perhaps scrapped is the better word. Both of us terrified. We were at the top of a steep flight of stairs. The other bard threw a knife, and I pushed him away from me. You can imagine the result.
You were only defending yourself.
But it was such a waste, Inquisitor. When I took off his mask, I knew him. We'd attended parties together. If I'd stopped to reason, if I'd used my voice instead of scuffling like a common thug, I'll always wonder who that young man would have grown into.
He seemed willing enough to murder you for the game.
Perhaps. I feel I'm the last to judge whether or not he would have actually used the blade. In all the commotion... Forgive me, I don't believe I ever thanked you for helping me with this.
Hold on to it. Don't lose sight of why you came here.
I will never forget you helped save the House of Montier, Inquisitor. And should you ever visit Antiva, stories of the welcome we'll give you will be told for years.
Oh. Josephine is very nice. I want to check on Liliana. Make sure she's doing fine to Danny, and I'm gonna check on Morgan, and then we're gonna do the mission.
I was... Do you have a moment? What were you like before the anchor? Has it affected you? Changed you in any way? Your mind? Your morals? Your spirit?
I don't believe so.
Ah,
Why do you ask?
you show a wisdom I have not seen since my deepest journeys into the ancient memories of the Fade. You are not what I expected.
What have I done that's so surprising?
Humans are short-sighted, brutish, blind to the beauty of the Fade. Their minds cast in a duality of black and white. But you have shown a subtlety in your actions. A wisdom that goes against everything I know of your people.
I'm just one part of this team, Solus. What about Cassandra or Liliana?
Cassandra separates matters of faith from those of the world. And she above all should understand how limited that is. Liliana has a brilliant mind, but her faith was damaged. To her, it is all a game of tactics now. But not you.
So what does this mean, Solus?
It means that I respect you deeply, Inquisitor. And I have disturbed you enough for one evening.
Solus is good. Very. Do you?
What can I do for you, Your Inquisitor?
Doing okay, Dorian?
Here we are. You know where I'll be.
I do need to ask him about that though.
I'm listening.
Okay. She's fine.
I'll be here.
Alright. Let's do the mission.
Inquisitor, is it true? Is the mark on your hand magic cast by Corypheus?
Gryphius claimed it's a spell gone wrong.
I wanted to think it was a blessing. A sign the Maker was returning to his creation. How credulous of me.
Perhaps the Maker set these events in motion so long ago we can no longer see his hand in them.
It would be fitting if that were true. Does it hurt? The anchor, that is.
It looks strange, but it hasn't done me harm.
If it did come from Corypheus, that's a small mercy.
Alright, boys. Let's go. Final assault on Copernicus. I didn't check on Morgan, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm fine.
With an illuvion, Corypheus could cross into the Fade in the flesh.
Indeed. The Inquisitor can attest that these artifacts still work if one knows how to use them.
What happens when Corypheus enters the Fade?
Why, he will gain his heart's desire and take the power of a god. Or, and this is more likely, the lunatic will unleash forces that tear the world apart.
I won't allow it. I can't.
Indeed, should Corypheus succeed, do not doubt you would be first to feel his holy wrath.
Pardon me, but does this mean everything's lost unless we get to the Illuvion before him?
Corypheus has a head start, no matter how quickly our army moves.
We should gather our allies before we march.
Can we wait for them? We should send our spies ahead to the Arbor Wilds.
Without support from the soldiers, you'd lose half of them.
Then what should we do?
You overcome it. All three of you together. Josephine, have our allies send scouts to meet us in the wilds. Liliana, your fastest agents will join them. Together, we'll have enough spies to slow down Corypheus' army until Cullen's soldiers arrive.
Such confidence. But the Arbor Wilds are not so kind to visitors. Old elven magic lingers in those woods.
We'd be remiss to not take advantage of your knowledge, Lady Morgan. Please, lend us your expertise.
Is why I came here. Although it is good to see its value recognized.
Any further instructions, Inquisitor?
I'm proud. I'm proud.
The Inquisition began as a handful of soldiers. Thanks to you, we're now a force that will topple a self-proclaimed god. I could ask for no finer counsel, no better guidance.
I speak for all of us when I answer. We could ask for no finer cause.
We'll hound Corypheus in the wilds before he can find the temple or this Illuvion.
Alright, let's go. Bringing the main three with me. Legions. Those are my boys. I think this cutscene's pre-rendered, but it still looks pretty cool.
Inquisitor,
How goes the battle, Captain?
the Red Templars fall beneath our blades, your worship. Commander Cullen says they're nearly finished. Our scouts saw Corypheus traveling towards an elven ruin to the north. We can clear you a path through his armies.
Make the monsters pay, Captain. Leave none standing.
We shall not flinch, your worship, not a one of us. Andraste guide you, Inquisitor.
I wonder, is it Andraste your soldiers invoke during battle, or does a more immediate name come to their lips?
They show me respect, Morrigan. No one mistakes me for the Maker.
True. You are far more likely to come to their aid than a chantry fable. But I digress. If your scouts report accurately, I believe these ruins to be the Temple of Mathal.
Mathal?
Which is?
A place of worship out of elven legend.
Exactly
if Corypheus seeks it, then the illuvian he covets lies within.
What was that?
Let us hope we reach this temple before the entire forest is reduced to ash.
Sorry. Not that way. What? Oh, I'm an idiot. USA, USA. I want to see what's this way.
Listen to how close the fighting's gotten. It will be worse ahead.
If the soldiers aren't careful with their fires, they'll do Corypheus' work for him.
One last push and we can lick our wounds. I wonder if Corypheus will show.
Do you sense the magic crackling? Something more powerful than the Red Templars stirs.
I don't understand why he's sending in the Red Templars when the Venatori is his main fighting force. I guess those are just kind of like cannon fodder at this point. Legions. Nice. Sweet Jesus, there's crap everywhere. I like how the Templars are counted as like wild animals. Hey there. Those are beautiful animals. Actually, now that I think about it, I guess this is kind of Red Templar territory. Or at least close to it. I guess the military are kind of more out west.
The monsters are running, your worship. They fall! The Red Templars fall!
Am I stupid? It appears so. Thought that was Red Lyrian for a second.
There, ahead. An entire camp of Red Templars.
Watch out.
Let's take care.
They've posted archers on the wall.
My god, they're tough.
One down! Elves! But where did...
Were we just attacked by elves?
It seems this temple of Mythal is not deserted after all.
Perhaps these creatures are the reason few return from the Arbor Wilds.
So far, right? Man, this place is loaded. The deal was with that camp. I did not like it. Oh my god. Oh my god, okay.
up any remaining Red Templars. Draste Martin will avenge every good knight who died.
Templars. Godspeed. Draste speed, I guess. We still have our weapons out. Loot. Yes. Good.
There. That must be the Temple of Mythal.
I hear fighting ahead.
Whoa.
You ready to help?
No.
Namilana Sabanale.
The wretch mocks you, master.
These are but remnants. They will not keep us from the Well of Sorrows.
Well of Sorrows?
Be honored. Witness death at the hands of a new god.
What? Is he dead?
It cannot be.
Across the bridge! Now!
At last, Mathal's sanctum. Let us proceed before Corypheus interferes.
You said Corypheus wanted an Eluvian, but he mentioned a Well of Sorrows. Which is right?
I am uncertain of what he referred to.
Could they be the same? Could Eluvian translate into Well of Sorrows?
No. It seems an Eluvian is not the prize Corypheus seeks.
I feel like you're lying.
Yes, I was wrong. Does that please you? Whatever the Well of Sorrows might be, Corypheus seeks it, and thus you must keep it from his grasp.
Let's find this well before Corypheus's people do. I want to know how Corypheus returned to life. We saw him die.
And his life force passes on to any blighted creature, darkspawn, or Grey Warden.
So that's how the bastard survived, Hawk.
We'll find a way to stop Corypheus once we're done here.
'Tis strange. Archdemons possess the same ability, and still the Grey Wardens are able to slay them. Yet Corypheus they locked away. Perhaps they knew he could do this, but not how.
It's sealed.
Corypheus's lackeys managed to open it. Perhaps the altar holds a clue.
Open her altar.
Why would this be here?
Something wrong.
It depicts the dread wolf, Fen-Harel. In elven tales, he tricks their gods into sealing themselves away in the beyond for all time. Setting Fen-Harel in Mathal's greatest sanctum is as blasphemous as painting Andraste naked in the chantry.
Some chantries display statues of Andraste's betrayer Mafarath as part of the chant.
It might fulfill a similar function. A reminder of vigilance for the faithful.
For all your knowledge, Lady Morrigan, you cannot resist giving legend the weight of history. The wise do not mistake one for the other.
Pray tell, what meaning does our elven expert sense lurking behind this?
None we can discern by staring at it.
You two look like you're about to kiss when you argue.
'Tis time we pressed forward.
Agreed.
It appears the temple's magics are still strong.
Is this Elven? Does it say anything about this Well of Sorrows?
Atishor vir Abalasan. It means enter the path of the Well of Sorrows.
There is something about knowledge, respectful or pure. Shiven. 'Tis all I can translate. That it mentions the well is a good omen.
At least we know the Well of Sorrows was important.
Supplicants to Mathal would have first paid obeisance here. Following their path may aid entry.
Perform a ritual to appease elven gods? Long dead or no, I don't like it.
If need be, unless you wish to turn back. Well done. Let us see what awaits.
Stepping stone puzzles. Very elven. What the hell's... Is that Venatori? I hope so. Hey, it worked.
Don't let them pass!
Come on, we might catch them.
Hold a moment. While they rush ahead, this leads to our true destination. We should walk the petitioner's path as before.
An army fights and dies for us. The longer we tarry, the more soldiers we lose outside. Let's jump down and be done with this place.
In this case, I must agree with the witch. This is ancient ground, deserving of our respect.
You see the urgency. We cannot find the Well of Sorrows unprepared.
We don't know what's
Hold on.
behind those doors. They might have a reason for going another way.
Had they the option, they would have proceeded. That must lead to their goal.
Their goal, or yours?
There is a danger to the natural order. Legends walked Thedas once, things of might and wonder. Their passing has left us all the lesser. Corypheus would squander the ancient power of the well. I would have it restored.
You barely know what the Well of Sorrows is, but you want to restore it.
Yes. Is Thedas so full of wonders that we should leave them to die one by one? Mankind blunders through the world, crushing what it does not understand. Elves, dragons, magic. The list is endless. We must stem the tide, or be left with nothing more than the mundane. This I know to be true. I read more in the first chamber than I revealed. It said a great boon is given to those who use the Well of Sorrows, but at a terrible price.
What exactly did that altar say about the Well of Sorrows?
Like most elven writing, it was insufferably vague. The term I deciphered was Halam Shivanas, the sweet sacrifice of duty. It implies the loss of something personal for duty's sake, yet for those who served at this temple, a worthwhile trade.
Did you not trust me enough to tell me about this price when you read it?
I hoped to find more information. If I intended to cheat you, I would have feigned ignorance entirely. My priority is your cause, but if the opportunity arises to save this well, I am willing to pay the cost.
And gain what?
That is what we must discover. The rituals may point the way.
Don't want my men to die.
Will you abandon these rituals?
At last. Let's find this well and go.
Sorry, souls.
We should search the area.
already made sure we're not leaving this way.
Let's find another way out.
Tis not what I expected. What was this chamber used for?
We're being watched.
Venavis. You are unlike the other invaders. You stumble down our paths at the side of one of our own. You bear the mark of magic, which is familiar. How has this come to pass? What is your connection to those who first disturbed our slumber?
They are my enemies, as well as yours.
I am called Abelas. We are sentinels, tasked with standing against those who trespass on sacred ground. We wake only to fight, to preserve this place. Our numbers diminish with each invasion. I know what you seek. Like all who have come before you, you wish to drink from the Vira Belasan.
The place of the Way of Sorrows. He speaks of the well.
It is not for you. It is not for any of you.
So you're elves from ancient times? Before the Tevinter Imperium destroyed Arlathan?
The Shemlin did not destroy Arlathan. We Elven warred upon ourselves. By the time the doors to this sanctuary closed, our time was over. We awaken only when called, and each time find the world more foreign than before. It is meaningless. We endure. The Vira Belasan must be preserved.
What is this Vira Belasan exactly?
It is a path. One walked only by those who toiled in Mithal's favor.
He speaks of priests, perhaps.
More than that, you need not know.
Solus, perhaps he'll listen to you.
What shall I say, Inquisitor? Shall I sway him from a millennia of service by virtue of our shared blood? He clings to all that remains of his world, because he lacks the power to restore it.
We did not come here to fight you, nor to steal from your temple.
I do not believe you. Our duty is clear. The Vira Belasan shall not be usurped, even if I must destroy it. Masal Dinan.
No!
Waste of life.
Such a waste. To live through eternity, only to end up like that.
Then perhaps you should have done the rituals, instead of blundering after the Magisters.
He's right. Just smeared them, my soldiers.
Let the vultures out.
place is like a maze.
You surprised? This temple doesn't exactly roll out welcome mats.
I sense danger.
Well of sorrows. So Mithal endures.
Andraste, guide us.
To Venter. Garbage.
So close. The well knows its vessel, and those who would despoil it. Stand aside, Inquisitor.
I've been meaning
The
to talk
trials
to
you
you.
set me, I have overcome. As a courtesy, leave now. Or not at all.
No, Calpurnia. We have things to discuss.
True. I did not think you so civilized. You serve your people. You have one last chance to save them. The Well of Sorrows overflows with knowledge. Power abandoned by those the elves worshipped as gods. To walk the Fade without the anchor. That is what the Well of Sorrows will give Corypheus.
If that's the case, why isn't Corypheus clawing at the well?
I will carry it like a jug brimming for his use. Can you not see? I knew you would take the well for yourself, to ransack its wisdom to try to defeat Corypheus. But you'd still be just a child, playing with a sword. Corypheus will wield it as a master.
Once you've drunk from the well, Corypheus will use a ritual on you. You'll be a mindless tool, enslaved to his will.
That... where I come from, idle tales must be proven.
Here, the page with his binding ritual. He tried it on your master, Erasthenes.
How could you know? And these runes, no one has written in these since... He made so many promises and everyone alive. Then he this cavern vast.
He was to give Tevinter a true leader. If Corypheus would misuse me, he'd misuse them too. I was blind.
That's why you joined Corypheus. To see Tevinter rebuilt.
To see her reborn. Slaves allowed their true potential. Corruption excised. Tevinter was the cradle of civilization. Imagine what her future could be. A crafter of wonders, standing against the savage Kunari. A beacon for all.
I can get behind that.
Perhaps Tevinter does need a strong leader. Be that woman, while you still can.
You mock me, Inquisitor, as if you'd let me walk away.
The Inquisitor is showing you great mercy, Mage. Do not waste it.
If Corypheus triumphs. Listen, if any power can challenge him, it lies in the well. Perhaps its price is too high, but if you can take it, humble him. Vitae Benefaria, Inquisitor. Do not follow us. I will give you some time. I go to confront my master. Then I will return to Tevinter. If there is anything left of me.
Abelard!
Oh my god. It's just creating those stairs.
You heard his parting words, Inquisitor. The elf seeks to destroy the Well of Sorrows.
So the Sanctum is despoiled at last.
You would have destroyed the well yourself, given a chance.
To keep it from your grasping fingers. Better it be lost than bestowed upon the undeserving.
Fool. You'd let your people's legacy rot in the shadows.
Corypheus needed Calpurnia to use the well. Without her, there's no vessel to claim it.
The moment we leave, he will send more forces to secure this place. The well clearly offers power.
He doesn't have any more forces.
If that power can be turned against Corypheus, can you afford not to use it?
At great cost.
You don't even know what you ask. As each servant of Mythal reached the end of their years, they would pass their knowledge on through this. All that we were, all that we knew, it would be lost forever.
This can't be easy, holding on to what's left.
You cannot imagine. Each time we awaken, it slips further from our grasp.
There are other places, friend, other duties. Your people yet linger.
Elven such as you?
Yes, such as I.
Our duty is all that remains. Those who drank from the Vira Belasan paid a great price, bound to the service of Mythal for eternity.
You claim Mythal was truly a god?
To you, it shall make no difference.
I don't want to fight. This here.
Mythal, Zul'Avin.
Stubborn fool.
He was defending all that was left of what once was.
And would have happily buried us in the process.
The decision to kill Abelas was mine, Morrigan, not yours.
The elf nearly brought the walls down upon us. I did what had to be done to save something far more valuable.
I don't think we should drink it.
You'll note the intact Illuvian. I was correct on that count, at least.
Is it still a threat? Can Corypheus use it to travel the Fade?
You recall when I took you through my Illuvian, I said each required a key? The well is the key. Take its power, And Methal's last Illuvian will be no more use to Corypheus than glass. I did not expect the well to feel so hungry.
Let's not be reckless. I don't want anyone hurt.
I am willing to pay the price the well demands. I am also the best suited to use its knowledge in your service.
Or more likely to your own ends?
What would you know of my ends, elf?
You are a glutton drooling at the sight of a feast. You cannot be trusted.
I agree.
Of those present, I alone have the training to make use of this. Let me drink, Inquisitor.
What training makes you so qualified?
I have studied the oldest lore. I have delved into mysteries.
I say we let Solus drink it.
Can you honestly tell me there is anyone better suited?
What about you, Solus?
No. Do not ask me again.
I would be.
You lead the Inquisition. This is not a risk you can take. I have the best chance of making use of the well for everyone. Let me drink.
You're not concerned about the price. Bound forever to the will of Mythal.
Bound to the will of a dead god? It seems an empty warning. Perhaps a compulsion yet remains. Who can say otherwise? I do not fear it, even so.
What's to stop you from taking the knowledge and leaving?
My word. If that seems insufficient, Corypheus threatens all, even myself. He must be stopped.
And who stops you?
I, Inquisitor, seek neither immortality nor your life.
Thoughts?
She is right about only one thing. We should take the power which lies in that well.
If it is truly between you and her, then let her take the risk. Make her help us all.
You're asking me? This is a lot of weird... I barely understand how any of this works.
Enough deliberation. Give me your decision.
Looking at it, listening to it. That's not just knowledge from the ancient elven priests. It's their will.
How would you know such a thing?
That's what Abelas was telling us. The collective will of the priests puts anyone who drinks under a compulsion. A gas. Can't you feel it?
That would match the legends, but it does not tell us what the gas entails. I would still use the well, but you are right. We must be cautious.
I don't trust her.
If anyone is to use the well, it will be me.
So you will take what little knowledge you can understand and let the rest go to waste?
And who's to say it will go to waste?
I do. Perhaps it is better this way. Do as you will with the Well of Sorrows, Inquisitor. But be careful.
Corypheus. A Magister wishes to rip the veil open. I must learn how to stop him. If you can help me vanquish Corypheus, take whatever price you wish.
Maker, please, don't let it end this way.
How do you feel?
The Illuvian!
Through the mirror.
He shattered it. I hope I did the right thing.
It is done.
I'm pleased to report we won the battle, Inquisitor. When you went through that mirror, Corypheus and his archdemon fled the field. I'm not sure why.
What he wanted was no longer within the temple.
Perhaps. He spent so long trying to get into the temple, he probably couldn't have helped his forces by that point.
Then Corypheus is finished.
If he is wise, he will hide and rebuild his strength before he attacks again.
He will not.
He won't hide.
You hear it. The well speaks to you.
It's voices. Whispering from so far away I can barely hear them.
If only one who understood such voices had used the well's power instead.
Then we'd have to rely on her interpretation of them, and whatever she chose to tell us.
Have I not been forthcoming enough for you, Spy Master? I told you what the well could have done, Inquisitor. You should be hearing shouts from the heavens, not whispers.
I have the well's power, Morrigan, not you.
Earlier you said you knew what needed to be done next. What did you mean?
The dragon is not an archdemon. It's a dragon in which Corypheus has invested part of his power. Kill it, and his ability to jump to other bodies is disrupted for a time. He can be killed.
That's no simple task. Corypheus alone is powerful, but where there's dragon...
There is a way, but I'll need Morrigan's help.
The voices from the well tell you that, do they? Very well, Inquisitor. Speak to me when you are ready to begin this plan of yours.
Are you certain of this?
I don't think certain is the right word. I'll see to Skyhold's defenses in the meantime.
Need to go talk to Solus so we can make up and not be enemies anymore, because I'm sure he's really mad at me. Very.
So, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this. We went to an ancient rune where you consumed a pool of elfiness, and then walked through a mirror, and wound up back here. Have I mentioned that the shit that happens to you is crazy? I don't want to think about this anymore. You want to discuss something normal?
Carry on.
Hey.
Why did you do it? I warned you not to.
Solus.
You gave yourself into the service of an ancient elven god!
I have not become Mythal's slave.
Not yet. But if you remove the layer of nostalgia from stories of the elven gods, you might see the danger. They were arrogant and fickle. They warred amongst themselves. They had feuds, vendettas. And you are bound to one of them now. I suppose it is better you have the power than Corypheus. Which leads to the next logical question. What will you do with the power of the well once Corypheus is dead?
I'll use whatever power I have to undo the chaos that Corypheus and his allies have caused.
You would put things back the way they were before?
Yes. I mean, not exactly.
I know what you mean. Thank you.
For what?
You have not been what I expected, Inquisitor. You have impressed me. You honor the past and work to recover what was lost, even if the cost is high. I respect that. And I am indebted to you for the reminder. Forgive my melancholy. Corypheus has cost us much. The Temple of Mythal did not deserve such a fate. The orb he carries, and its stolen power, that at least we may still recover. With luck, some of the past may yet survive.
Thank you, Solus. We couldn't have done this without you.
You are welcome.
Are you leaving, Solus? I wanted to stay friends. Are you angry at me?
Victory in the Arbor Wilds. The Archdemon might have been a real threat to our army, but it flew off once we turned the tide. It is still out there, however. I wonder what Corypheus plans now.
We'll deal with whatever he throws at us.
Do not underestimate Corypheus. He is powerful, and you have yet to fight him one-on-one. But he will come. You will get your chance.
We'll face Corypheus together.
There is not another man I would be more proud to fight beside. Not long ago, this was impossible to imagine. You, the man I love, victory close at hand. The time has come to consider what will come next.
I don't care what's next, as long as we're together.
And if I am named Divine?
We can still be together.
Can we? I'm not so certain. You haven't lost me yet.
Yay. Aw. Just place your arm through my shoulder. Give me a very terrible stab wound. Alright, well, I gotta go.